What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to today's video. And I'm doing a voiceover this time because playing competitive games and talking at the same time does not work for me at all. Now it can, like sometimes when I'm doing casual games like TF2 and some other stuff, but I just get hyper focused on the game and not be able to talk. I am working on that. I have gotten a little better at it, but I feel like for this video, I'll just do a voiceover. And right now I got the finals playing. We were doing Power Shift, and yeah, it was a fun video, or it was a fun game. Um, but today's video is Stoner stories. All right, and this particular one takes place in school. Uh, hey, if y'all end up liking this form of content when I do stories, then let me know, and I'll probably do more of it with finals. Anyways, um, so this takes place around 10th grade. I'm in the behavioral class at this point in time, and while you're in the behavioral class, there's gonna be some other kids with behavioral issues, and so those kids were particularly will particularly have some form of item on them, or that just be a regular vape with nicotine or a dab pen, and there was like a total of 5 people in there around this point in time of the year, and out of the 5 people, which that includes myself, there is, for the sake of the story, I'll give them some fake names. One of them is Bryson, got Josh, and Kaylee. They all had vapes. All right, and Bryson, he always had like some kind of dab pin on him. Just about every single day he come in with a dab pin. Well, that means frequently getting high, which, not gonna lie, most of the time he would have a pretty decent pin, but sometimes that would be kind of rough and kind of ass. I remember one time he had this like really strong ass pin, and that got me sent. I couldn't read a book. Like we were doing a group read, and this was ninth grade. They brought it in, and we were doing a group read with the book. I couldn't finish the whole chapter. Like I had to do an entire chapter. Couldn't even finish the page. It was crazy. I almost got drug tested at the school, or like the random finger test thing that they'll do. Yeah, they almost did that to me, but they just let me go. But that's a story for another time. Anyways, this particular day, um, it involves administrators, and none of us, were intoxicated at this point. Uh, so it was some random day. They just decided to do this. Well, to give a little backstory of the classroom, we had the giant, smart board thing that we always sometimes watch videos on, and there was a couple of couches that surrounded it because the teachers brought in couches for us, to sit on and use as working stations or desks. We would have clipboards. We would, sit up on the couches, comfortable, doing work, and we'd have desks in there, like some tables and chairs, but we didn't really like using them because we got couches. That's comfortable. I want to use that. You know. Anyways, uh, before the bell would ring, we would typically get on the couch and just pass out, like, and then when the bell rings, we'll get up, do our work, and eventually we'd pass out again after lunch, because food was settling in our stomachs, our little tum tums. I remember this one morning. Um, I get to class. I'm pretty fucking tired. Like I am just beat from the night before. I don't know what was going on the night before, but I was just slumped. I was tired, right? So I I proceed to get up and get on the couch, or not get up and on the couch, but when I get to school, I uh I get to the couch. I get to my classroom. I sit up on the couch in the corner, and I have both my arms back, head leaned back, mouth open, and one leg up on the couch. Y'all know that one image of Patrick, where he's just like on the couch, like he looks like he's passed out, and has like SpongeBob sucking him off. Well, I was like Patrick right there, just slumped on that couch, right? I was out, just gone. Well, eventually, I get abruptly woken up by administrators who did not give any warning beforehand coming to the classroom, which they are supposed to. They are supposed to give warning that they're coming to the class and to look at things. They did not do that a single time. Well, on this particular day, they came in, as always, barging through the door like Shrek coming out of the porta potty. Just, oh, excuse me. and they see us, asleep on the couch. It's early in the morning. The bell has already rang, and none of us woke up. All right, that's supposed to be an alarm clock. None of us woke up. We were just out on the couch. Well, I know I was on one couch. Bryson was on the other one. We had a quiet room with kind of like a mattress type thing. It was really weird. It was like a big ass beanbag chair. It was crazy. Well, Kaylee was passed out in there, and Josh was just sitting somewhere else. I don't know where he was. But administrators come barging through the door. They come see us, and they start shaking us and like clapping their hands like, "Hey, wake up!" And I come awake. I almost start swinging, but I see who it is. I'm like, "Oh, it's this bitch. I can't do nothing because it's that one administrator no one likes. Fucking absolute oompa loompa bitch." Anyways, she's built like a Teletubby. She looks like if the Teletubby had less ass and longer legs. All right. You know who I'm talking about. That one really bitch of a teacher, Yeah, no one likes those. Anyways, so the administrators come in, like, "Hey, come on, we're going for a walk." I'm like, "What? We're going for a walk? What the fuck?" And us being kids, really can't, have a say in anything, so we have to oblige by their, what they say, by their words. So as we get up, we're walking, we got the classroom here, and we got the gym all the way over here. And we're walking towards that direction of the gym. Like, okay, I guess we're going to the gym. And the whole time I think in my head, I'm like, "Oh, they're searching us. We're all getting searched. Classroom's getting searched. Taking apart the couches and everything." I'm just thinking that, right? So eventually we get like halfway to the gym. Bryce and I, we just stop, take a minute. We sit down on the curb where the bus loop is, and on the radio, the administrator, the bitch, the Teletubby, um, gets a call saying, "Hey, no, let's go back," saying like all clear or something like that. I really couldn't hear what they're saying. I'm so tired at this point. And she's like, "Hey, come on, get up. Let's go back to class." I'm like, "All right, fine." So as we get up, we're walking. I hear her gangly ass skeleton legs clapping away back there. I don't know how they supported her weight. Like she was fucking hippopotamus. You know. So we get back to class. Kaylee and Josh are already there, and got another teacher or another administrator. I think it was Mr. Stafford. He's goated. Like he was a good person, Like he was really reasonable and everything. But yeah. So get back there and just I'm trying to think here. Give me a second. Yeah. So they all get there, and I'm talking to everyone else like, "Hey, did they search you? What's going on?" Like, "No, they're just walking us, make sure we're awake." Like, what? And yeah, that's literally what they were doing. Like they were making sure like we were awake. I was freaking out for nothing. If they had said, "Hey, y'all need to wake up, let's go for a walk," I would have been perfectly fine. But no, they come barging into the classroom, clapping hands and raising hell and everything, saying, "Let's go for a walk." I'm assuming we're getting getting taken to the office and getting searched. No, no, not at all. So yeah, that was one terrifying story or one terrifying event, I should say, because if you're in a behavioral class, like you got to do some pretty, you know, not really bad stuff, but repetitive badness, I should say. Like if you're doing if you're misbehaving a certain amount of times, you get sent to the alternative school, and it gets sent there more than once, and have some issues there, and you come back to school, like they'll put you in a behavioral class, you know. But it's at the high school, so I'm not really complaining. It's not at the alternative school, you know. But anyways, that was one story. I know it's not really that entertaining of a story. I told it to a friend and he was dying laughing for some reason. You know who you are. Yeah, you buddy. Yeah, you know. But I told it better at that moment than I did now because at that moment I was in a different mindset. I was like, yeah, goofy time. I was saying a lot more. I was saying things better, but me saying it now it's just pretty difficult. Anyways, that's pretty much the end of the story. I have more stories like this, and this really isn't a stoner story, but it does involve substances because later that day after I got back to class, like we went to lunch, I did get baked. You know, get down. What are you doing? This dog, man. Like she's cute as hell, but she's always up in my business, up in my ass. You know. Wait, hold on, pause. I mean, like, you know, you know what I mean. Shut up. So that's pretty much gonna do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you enjoyed this form of content, please let me know so I can see if I want to keep doing it. I might do another couple stories like this because it's just easier for me to. But yeah, that's about it for this video. Y'all have a good day.